Napoleon Bonaparte, also known as the Little Emperor. But was he that little? Or is this a giant misconception? Napoleon Bonaparte's name echoes through history, conjuring images of a short, stocky figure driven by ambition and a thirst for power. The image is so deeply ingrained in popular culture that the term Napoleon Complex is used to describe men who overcompensate for their perceived lack of height. But what if this enduring image, repeated and reinforced for centuries, is fundamentally flawed? What if history got it wrong? Napoleon Bonaparte, contrary to popular belief, was not short. He was in fact of average height for his time. Napoleon Bonaparte's legacy remains as a titan of history. Born Napoleon Bonaparte on the island of Corsica in 1769, he rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most influential figures in history. A brilliant military strategist and a charismatic leader, Napoleon's victories across Europe reshaped the political map of the continent. He instituted lasting reforms in France and beyond, leaving an indelible mark on law, education, and governance. His intelligence, ambition, and capacity for leadership were undeniable, yet history remembers him in part for a physical characteristic that was, in reality, a fabrication. Measuring greatness, the truth behind Napoleon's height. The myth of Napoleon's diminutive stature stems from a misinterpretation of historical measurements. At the time, the French paus was used, which was slightly longer than the British inch. Napoleon's recorded height was 5 feet 2 inches in French units. This translates to approximately 5 feet 6 inches in British measurements, making him of average height for a Frenchman in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. The misconception about Napoleon's height was deliberately perpetuated by his British enemies. Engaged in a fierce rivalry with Napoleonic France, Britain employed propaganda as a powerful weapon. Caricatures depicting Napoleon as a comically short figure with an oversized hat and a fierce scowl were widely circulated. These images, designed to mock and belittle the French emperor, took root in the public imagination and contributed significantly to the enduring myth of his short stature. Beyond propaganda, the myth of Napoleon's height was further reinforced by artists of the time. Often commissioned by patrons with anti-Napoleon sentiments, paintings frequently depicted him as shorter than he actually was, standing alongside taller, more imposing figures. These artistic representations, while not always intentionally misleading, served to cement the image of a small-statured Napoleon in the public consciousness. Centuries later, these images continue to shape our understanding of this towering historical figure. The term Napoleon Complex is a perfect example of how a historical myth can take on a life of its own. There is no evidence to suggest that Napoleon himself had any complex about his height. On the contrary, his confidence and self-belief were evident in his actions and his writings. The association of his name with a psychological complex based on a physical characteristic he did not possess is a testament to the power of misinformation and the persistence of historical myths.
Thanks for watching. This is 60-second knowledge now extended, because curiosity doesn't stop at 60 seconds. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on TikTok.